Everybody, John Link. This is Friday, June 27th. Monday is June 30th and the end of the second quarter, end of the first half, meaning that Tuesday, July 1st begins the third quarter, the second half of the year. We've been talking all year long about the first half being rocky and rough, but we expect things to level out and really do well in the second half. And I want to talk about that for a minute and why actually we think about that, why we have mentioned that in the past. So this is just what we call a mountain chart in the industry on the stock market. So this is the 5 year mountain chart. Okay. Oops, sorry. And so if you look at it, we've had some rough times. 2022, very, very rough. We look at some drawdowns here, kind of scary in the moment, but then look what happens after that. Increases in the market. This is Trump's Liberation Day speech in April that he talked about, and see the trend since then. So my first point in this video is that we talk about it all the time, but remember, markets always trend upward. They've recovered 100% of the time. When we're in the moment, it feels terrible. And we can think of all kinds of reasons to, worry and things like that. Let me give you some reasons for optimism. Number one is oil prices, all the turmoil in the Mideast and all the things that have been happening over there. People thought that Iran might close the Strait of Hormuz. They thought all kinds of stuff around the planet that might affect oil prices, and did momentarily, but they have drawn down, and oil prices being low, which they are, and we would expect that to stay, affects all prices of everything, right? So low oil prices are good. Earnings projections is another reason that we are looking at a second half that we think is going to be good. Companies have reduced their earnings expectations so much that beating them is kind of a low hurdle, and we believe that earnings beats are good, and that will also fuel the economy. One of the things that happened when interest rates were so high, there's $7 trillion in money market funds, 7 trillion that were paying 5%. Now they're paying 4%. When they get to 3.5%, that money is going to go back into the market, fueling stock market prices. Inflation, pardon me, inflation is down to around 2.5%. Interest rates are around 4.5%. That's an anomaly. That you usually have to keep those two about the same, roughly, or at least, maybe not quite that much disparity, which puts pressure on the Fed to reduce those rates. And when they come down, along with the inflation, that will spur the economy as well, because of the way interest rates affect the economy. So you have oil prices, you have interest rates, you have earnings, all kinds of tailwinds. So rather than be worrying, and I think that the tariff thing is a real positive too. And everybody got over the tariff mania, and companies are coming back and making more stuff in the United States and committing to that and so forth. So because of those reasons, and probably a whole bunch more that I won't take time to go into, we believe the second half is going to be good. So it's good. Most people hung in there in the first half, and that's awesome. There was some consternation. Second half, we believe, will be extremely good, and you'll be happy you're in there. And those are the reasons why that I think that we're headed for a pretty good second half here. Okay. All right. Look, if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, let me know. Appreciate every single one of you for your business, and we'll stay in touch. Thanks. Bye bye.